I feel like I was a little shaky, but I tried to do my best, and they're turning out okay. I'm working on the signs, trying to not get a bunch of paint outside of the cuts, the grooves I've used the grinder to put in, and I kind of like how they're turning out. I've got one that I may put gesso in. That's kind of weird, but I've only got one left that doesn't have any paint in the lettering, and I kind of like it natural. I'm not sure. If you've got an opinion on that, I'd be glad to know it. It's the Neverland, and I've already used green for the Shire, so I'm just not sure about whether or not I should put some color in it. And so anyway, I've got some video here of doing a couple of the signs, and if they dry out well, if they set up well tonight, then I might be able to get in the workshop tomorrow and do some sanding, and then be able to maybe start thinking about shellac to finish them off. Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, we're on Dead End Street, and I'm actually remembering to do the before picture for once. So here's the signpost for Allegatia before, and I'm looking forward to painting this. Going to put some blue in those grooves, and we're going to hopefully see what it looks like after the painting is done. And I'm going to do a time lapse in between. I feel very blessed and grateful that this acrylic seems to be setting very, bonding very well with the wood. And that, yeah, there were definitely some things that got outside the lines a little bit. Some of them I'm definitely okay with, because I want to make sure that when I sand it, that as much of the cavities are filled in as possible, so it's right up to the top surface of the board. Let's take a little closer look here. Yeah, there's going to need to be some sanding, but some of the definition of the lettering is going to be lost if I'm not careful with the sanding, because there are parts of the lettering that don't go as deep as I would have liked. I'm going to check that S real quick. I may want to do a quick touch up there, but there is the initial painting of this board. And I sure do appreciate you watching. Look forward to any comments or thoughts you might have about this project, because I want to make it as nice as possible. I'm thinking of doing a spray shellac kind of clear coat covering on it. And man, can you see that dragon head along with me now? Great day. That is, I'm just really glad I picked this board. I think it's there. All right, enough of my little meanderings. It's time to break out the green and do the Shire. Yeah, the brushes I have are not going to be great for this, so there may be more sanding on this one than any of the others, but I'm going to try it and see how it looks. I'm really wishing now that I'd made this bigger, that maybe the right here and then the Shire just be big, and that would balance out on the board a little bit better. But didn't see all the grain that kind of gave me the ideas until after it was sanded down some. So that's just kind of the way that it broke down. But I think green will look nice on this. Let's try it. Well, it filled in all right. It will need some sanding. Got a little bit outside the edges, but I'm going to let this dry for a while and definitely do another coat. It's a lighter shade, and the wood seems to be soaking it up. I think this is just pine, so I think it's going to look a little thin. So I'm going to let it dry for about an hour and put another coat on it. And we'll see if we can kind of try and fill that in, fill the lettering in almost flush with the wood itself. I think that would help it stand out the way it needs to. There is the second coat, and I really tried to fill it up here. It is soaking in quite a bit. It's going to be interesting when I sand it, because I think it might give it kind of a more of a distressed or aged look, because I think some of it is going to bleed into the wood out to the edges a little bit. Anyway, thanks for watching, and feel really good about how things are shaping up here, and looking forward to seeing what it's like after the sanding is done. I may not sand this one tomorrow, though, because I'm going to let that paint really, really, really dry. I do not want it to glob up in the sanding. Pardon the technical term. Yes, globbing up is a real issue in this kind of work, or so I suspect. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for joining me on Dead End Street.